Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Tech and Food Videos. Today we're going to be looking at the Asus Zephyrus G14. This is the 2022 version. Originally this laptop came out much earlier this year. I've had the laptop for about 3 months now, and I'm going to tell you 5 things that I really liked about the laptop and also 5 things I disliked about the laptop. To start things off, I'm just going to go over some of the quick specs for you guys so you guys get an idea of what I am dealing with here. If you guys want a full review of this laptop, there are plenty of reviews out there already on YouTube. I'll leave a link to a couple of them down below if you guys are interested in that. So again, this is the Asus Zephyrus G14 2022 version. This is where they changed everything to AMD now. So it's got AMD Ryzen 9 processor. This is the 6900HS processor. Also has the AMD Radeon RX 6700S graphics card. It has 1 terabyte of SSD storage, 16 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs is actually soldered onto the board itself. You can only upgrade 1 stick. The additional 8 gigs you can swap out for something else. The one that I currently am working on is the 14-inch screen. This has 120 hertz refresh rate and it has a brightness of about 500 nits. Not the brightest laptop out there, but it's not too bad as well. As far as pricing goes on this thing, so the one that I have with the 6700S graphics card, this retails for $1,650 at Best Buy. There have been multiple occasions during Black Friday and during this Christmas season where it has dropped down to about $1,100 to $1,200. Just going off of the retail price of $1,650 is when they first launched. Now there's also a 6800S graphics card version as well. That one retails at $1,900. As far as if it's worth it to upgrade to the 6800 graphics card, I don't think it is. I looked at some reviews from other people. They also said that the 6700 graphics card is just fine. Probably not worth it to upgrade and spend the additional $250 to get there. So those are the basic specs of this thing and pricing. We're gonna go over the top 5 things that I liked about this laptop. Now this is in no particular order. These are just 5 things that I liked. Doesn't rank them from top to bottom or anything like that. These are just things that I liked about the laptop. Starting with the design. I actually like the sleek design. It's very minimal. It's not flashy. There's not a whole lot of lights flashing around. The laptop itself is white. The white version that I have here is really clean. You can get a version where it does have the LEDs. Well, it has the LED lights on in the holes there. The version that I have does not have that. It just has the rainbow color that's in there, that's embedded into the holes. It is going to cost extra if you want the LED route, but I'm happy with the one that I have here. There are some cool designs that people have been doing with the LED version of that. Now the keyboard keys are actually backlit. You can change those. Those are actually RGB. You can change it to whatever color you want. However, the lighting itself is not that bright. So the second thing that I like about this is the build quality. It's actually pretty solid. I think it has the magnesium layer on here. It does have plastic as well, but it's not like cheap or anything. It feels pretty solid. It doesn't feel like it's gonna creak or crack or anything like that. Overall, it's just a very solid machine. The third item that I liked about this laptop is that it is ultra portable. For a gaming laptop, it is very portable. Coming in at 14 inches on the screen, you can pretty much take this anywhere. It weighs just about under 4 pounds, so it goes pretty easily into my backpack. I can take it anywhere I want to. Not big and bulky like some of the gaming laptops can be. And as far as the gaming laptop itself, it runs very smooth and fast. I did run this on a few games that I currently have. I did run it on Far Cry 5 at full specs. It was running pretty smoothly without any issues. Just keep that in mind though, like when you are running this at full resolution, full everything, the fans do kick up quite a bit. It does get pretty loud, and the heat on this thing is it can get pretty up there, but it does run pretty smoothly. And as far as anything else, productivity wise, it does run very smooth and fast. That is the 4th thing that I like. And the 5th thing that I like about this is that the render speeds are very fast. Coming from a desktop running a old 1070 GTX graphics card with like a 10-year-old Intel Core i7 processor, I was running 4K with about a 20-minute length clip. It would take me about 3 to 4 hours to render that clip. With this thing, probably about 20-25 minutes at the max, depending on how many layers I have in my footage. It's not the quickest laptop out there for rendering, but it is very good in my opinion actually. For my needs at least, I don't do a whole lot of like graphics or anything like that. It's mostly just basic cutting and editing, and it tends to run pretty smoothly on that. For 1080p, it runs pretty fast. Actually, I could probably get a 20-minute clip in like 10 minutes, and probably less than that, to be honest. So those are the 5 things that I really like about this laptop. If you guys own this laptop yourself, or you have a laptop you guys own, what are the 5 things that you like? What is something that you're looking for when you're buying a laptop? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, moving on to the 5 things that I dislike about this laptop. The first thing is the battery life. The battery life on this thing is not that great. At full resolution, full brightness, everything, you might be able to get like 3 hours on this thing. It doesn't last very long. If you guys are doing like basic tasks, you could probably last a few hours, 5, maybe 6 hours. But like if you're constantly watching videos or anything like that, or rendering files, it will suck up the juice on your battery for sure. So that's one downside thing I don't like about this laptop, is the battery isn't the biggest out there, and it tends to drain pretty quickly. That being said, I do have a micro USB cable that I use to charge it up at times when I'm on the go, which leads me to the second thing that I don't like about this laptop, is the actual power brick itself. The power brick itself is humongous. It is probably the size of like half the laptop, to be honest with you, and I'll leave a clip of it in the screen for you guys to see how big this thing is compared to the actual laptop. It is big, and the cable that goes into the outlet to the actual power brick is actually pretty short. I've had times where I have the laptop on my desk and I plug in and the thing is just like dangling around. It's not the greatest thing, which is why I use the micro USB cable a lot more for charging. The third item that I did not like about this laptop is that when I first got it, I actually had issues with it randomly freezing at times. I don't know if it was like a software issue or a firmware issue. I don't really know exactly, but random times when I'd just be surfing on Chrome and the entire thing just freezes. Like I can't do anything at all. The mouse doesn't move or anything like that. So I have to power reset it, and once I get it going again, it seems to be working fine again. That only happened when I first got the laptop, so I did upgrade it a few times as far as the firmware upgrades as well as Windows updates go, and it seems to fix the issue. I don't really know exactly, but I have not had any issues since then. That being said, also at that same period of time, the laptop would actually restart itself randomly. I don't know why. It wasn't doing any updates or anything like that. It would just randomly restart itself and go back into the startup mode. So yeah, that was the fourth thing that I did not like about this thing, is that it would just randomly restart. That being said, after those updates again, I haven't had this issue since then. It's just a little concerning though, after getting it right out of the box, that I would have these issues. Again, it might be firmware, it might be software, whatever it might be. It seems to have fixed itself. So that's not the hugest thing out there, but it is a little concerning for sure. And the fifth thing that I disliked about this thing, and this is probably the one thing that I dislike the most, is the Wi-Fi card. It is just terrible garbage. So actually I ended up updating it to the Intel AX210 wireless card. This is the Wi-Fi 6E card. It is a tri-band card, and it's pretty easy to swap out. Pop it back open and redid it, and just replugged it in, and just make sure you update it by downloading the Intel drivers with the card, and you should be fine. The onboard Wi-Fi card was just terrible. I was losing connections constantly. Even when I was like right next to my router, it would just disconnect for no reason. I also have a dual band router, so I was connected on the 5 gig band at one time, and it would just drop out of that. And then I would be on the 2 gig band, and it would just drop out of that too. So I don't know what the issue was with the Wi-Fi card. The original Wi-Fi card that came with the laptop is just terrible. I highly recommend you guys upgrading it. I just had so many connection issues when I was just surfing the net, doing basic online tasks, and it would just drop. So highly recommend you upgrading the Wi-Fi card for sure. If you guys are interested in the Wi-Fi card that I picked up, I will leave a link below too for Amazon. That's where I picked it up from. Wasn't too expensive. I think I spent like $20 on the card just for that upgrade, and it's a lifesaver, to be honest with you. Ever since I replaced the Wi-Fi card, I've had no issues at all with connectivity. Yeah, that is the fifth item that I disliked about this laptop. That being said, overall, I am actually very satisfied with this laptop. Having it for only 3 months now, I haven't had too many issues besides all that stuff that I mentioned earlier at the beginning of when I first got it. But once I got everything upgraded, all the firmware updates, all the Windows updates, everything, drivers updates. It's actually been running very smoothly for me. I haven't had any issues with it since then. It's been a great laptop overall. After upgrading it, I also added additional RAM to this thing now too, so it's very powerful, runs games very smoothly, and it's very portable. If you guys are looking for a very small laptop, I highly recommend this laptop. If you guys want a bigger screen, I would suggest getting the 16-inch version instead. It might be better for gaming. Productivity wise, I was kind of contemplating getting the 16-inch instead. It is definitely more expensive though. But yeah, overall, I'm satisfied with the Asus. Those are my top 5 and bottom 5 opinions on this laptop. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys own this laptop, have you had any issues like I did? Do you guys like the laptop? If there's a better laptop out there that you guys like more, let me know down in the comments which one that is. I'd love to know more about this. I'm learning more about gaming laptops, learning more about regular laptops. Those are my top 5 and bottom 5. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.